Love comes in many forms. Love can come like a falling star. And maybe that's just what's about to happen for Toshiko Santo as she witnesses Greeks bearing gifts. Right, hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities. Welcome back to another Torchwood review. And today's Torchwood review is none other than Greeks bearing gifts. So, what is Greeks bearing gifts about? Well, essentially, Toshiko Santo comes across a device in which she finds herself falling in love with a woman at a bar. A woman she has never met, a woman that just has this kind of aura about her, some kind of impulse, something that just absolutely mind-bogglingly attracts Toshiko Santo. And let's just put it this way, the pair of them do not leave the bed sheets unscathed. Yeah, but essentially the whole story revolves around her having this mysterious partner, and after a while the Torchwood team soon realise that Toshiko Santo is seen as absolutely gorgeous, beautiful woman. To their surprise, of course. They're all very open-minded, of course, because that's the way that Torchwood is general. They've all kind of had a bit of a fling with everyone. But as the story progresses, they soon realise there's just something up about this woman who Toshiko is seeing. For some reason, she is obsessed with Torchwood and wants Toshiko to break in and get a device for her. And she will do anything in her power just to get a little glimpse, a little piece of this kind of artifact that Torchwood has dug up. By the end of the story, Toshiko soon realizes that this woman, even though the pair of them have been having a lot of intimate time together, has all been for one reason. This woman wants to get home and she is using her as a bit of a scapegoat. She doesn't really care about Toshiko Santo's feelings. Yes, she has been enjoying the sex, but to be fair, she just sees that as an extra bonus. But in reality, she is using Tosh to get what she wants. And Tosh spends this whole episode being manipulated and really starts to feel like she's been put in a corner and being attacked by her own team. Of course, this works perfectly for this entity and this being from another planet, because by this happening, it really detracts away from what's really happening in front of her eyes. Eventually, however, though, once all the pretenses are broken away and Tosh admits the fact that she already knew that her lover was an alien, but she doesn't quite see why that should matter. But then when she begins to also break away and realise exactly the full extent of the fact that she's being manipulated, Jack and the team have to decide whether or not to kill the woman or to find some alternative way around it. They come up with a solution in which they decide to send her back off into space and to essentially pay for her crimes out in the stars, rather than having to get into bloodshed. Toshiko pretty much ends this whole episode very heartbroken about her relationship being destroyed by Torchwood and finds herself in a position which she's not quite sure if she can trust the team anymore. I mean, over the course of this series, there are going to be a lot of trials and tribulations that happen and occur throughout the story. But this is a very predominant one. So what did I think of Greeks bearing gifts? Well, for a start, I think this absolutely perfectly comes across as a very beautiful queer and lesbian kind of story. I feel like it embodies these characters perfectly, and even though it has an ultimatum to the story and a lovely bit of plot twist, it really all comes together and is culminated perfectly in its formula. I love the way it's carried out, I love the way it ends, and most importantly, I love the way that it doesn't try to degrade or destroy the characters as it goes along. It rather tries to uplift them and bring them into a position in which we can kind of either relate to them or really see where the story is starting to go. I also love how the whole Torchwood team is very open about what's going on, and I like the way that this carries on throughout the Torchwood series in general, from series 1 to 4 to also a lot of the audios and such. I love the way that Torchwood as a show has been so open and welcoming to all these characters, their sexualities and their identities. And especially in this idea that they don't discriminate in the story at all, and that is what makes it so perfect. And for that reason, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next Torchwood review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, and have an incredible day, you beautiful people.